Hey guys, I'm Nick, and welcome to Vulcanara Motorsports. And today I kind of want to talk about STEM collaboration tables, or just known as collaboration tables. Um, the big thing is when we start getting into collaboration tables or collaborative spaces for meeting rooms, non-shop areas, stuff like that, we're really looking at where individuals can have the greatest of time, the greatest amount of mobility to make decisions, plan parts, kind of do what they got to do. And the one thing that you kind of look at is you can have embedded tables. So you can have a, say, 8 foot by 4 foot table, and you can have a 32-inch monitor inlaid inside that table with a touch screen that everybody kind of hovers around. You can pass things around and kind of look at it. If anybody has probably bought in a car from some dealerships lately, they're starting to use those auto sign, touch desks for their salespeople. Um, so they have those. Or you can take an entire desk and every single section, you put a monitor, you hook it up to a central PC, and then all of the stuff is pushed to it. Sounds like a very expensive way of doing things, which I wholeheartedly agree. Me, myself, and we all think it's easier to just build your own. For example, the table that I'm sitting at is a 2 foot by 6 foot long melamine top table. As you can tell by what you can see right here in the corner, this white, which is always good because I could take a permanent eraser and make notes on that particular table. Then I could take a rag and wipe it off. Which means that this same exact durability of a table that you have is something that you can use as a collaborative space. If you're sitting there working on a CAD model or you're working on a design that you want to work through, giving people the ability to sit here and take notes and kind of see what they want. It's like I'm trying to get your view, kind of see what they want to deal with. The thing is, then you can always use different colors to signify different things happening in the workshop. You can also have it signifying different things in the design. You can also, funny enough, all-purpose cleaner, right? All-purpose cleaner. You can come in here and spray it down and clean it off, getting your surface ready for the next meeting. So what that means is technically, and we're going to do another series on why it's always good to have a whiteboard near you, even if that is having a whiteboard on your tablet. Is another one. On your iPad. All the iPads, iPhones, Android tablets, Windows tablets, and stuff like that, all have features on them that will give you a whiteboard-like process. For example, Microsoft has one of those processes built into Office 365. So everybody using Office 365 has the ability to use a digital whiteboard. And, that's always something that's good. However, there are some people out there, me for example, like to write things down. Like to take notes. Like to be able to sit there and go, okay, cool, I have this Raspberry Pi, and what do I want it to do? I want to take it, and I'm going to take it on my table, and I'm going to draw out exactly what I want it to do. While I have that Raspberry Pi sitting down here in front of me, and I'm labeling out the cabling so I can get a visual representation of what I want to do when I'm talking to everybody else. It's the same thing goes if I'm sitting there, I have a roll of filament sitting in front of me. I can take that roll of filament and start jotting down ideas of what I have to make with it. What are my processes? What are my procedures? And stuff like that. So it kind of gives you a way to have something to write on. That type of stuff is, stuff that's actually kind of important. When you're actually kind of looking at that, and how we do things and how things are developed, using a collaborative surface like melamine is a great surface you can use. However, I'm going to say this, it's not always cheap depending on where you get it from. You cannot get tables pre-made with melamine in it. So you have to go to Home Depot, Lowe's, or any Home Depot-like store that is near you or in your country. And then you pretty much build the table yourself. You put legs on it, you put the side rails on it. You kind of get it where you want it. Like, for example, we make all of our tables at bar height because why? We find that more relaxing to stand at or sit on high chairs on, to kind of work off of. And you can use these tables in every single environment. Don't put them in, boardrooms, if you can help it, because they don't look like a boardroom like table does. However, if you're like me, and you're a company owner, and you realize that you're just going to go against the grain a little bit, having a table that not just works for you, but works for the people you're meeting with, but mainly works for your people that work for you, where you can make quicker decisions, make quicker notes, make life simpler, then do it. You're not having to put a whole lot of money in there. For example, all of my tables that I have 3D printers on, you're going to see me with another one here soon because we actually have a Voron, not a Voron, but a Prusa on the way. So we have the core, the core kit actually en route. Hopefully it'll be shipping from Prague in the next couple days. And you'll see us build a table for that. I might not show it, but I'll definitely show you the After Effects. And that will have a melamine table. If you saw me do a quick glance over at my Voron 2.4 during one of our last videos, you saw the melamine table that it's sitting on top of. Why? Because I can take that same melamine table and I can put, and draw my my numbers on it. I can say, okay, cool, here's my retraction. Here is, here's what I need to do. Here's what my steps per minute are. This is the type of filament that I'm using. This is the type of temperature I need. That's before you go in and save anything to a slicer profile. If you're just doing a test profile and you're like, okay, cool, I don't know if this is going to work because it's kind of new filament, kind of using like a PCCF or polycarbonate carbon fiber, or you're using a PACF, like a nylon-based carbon fiber inlay, or you're using a nylon that you never used before, like a PA12, and you don't know what they are for your system, and you just kind of jot down notes. It makes it easy. And the thing is melamine in itself is naturally flat. It's also naturally freaking water repellent. So even though it's still press board, however, it does have that whiteboard top on top of it. So, even if you don't want to use it as a table, you can put it up on your walls, in your shops to use as whiteboards. If you can't find regular whiteboard stuff, or you want something that's a little bit more robust, a little bit heavier weight to deal with. So you always have that type of stuff to deal with. But the best thing is all of this you can write on it with a basic Expo marker. So, Expo markers, Expo freaking erasers all work with, with melamine. And, the good thing is last time I checked, at Home Depot, I believe it is about, $24.95 for a 4x8 sheet. So a lot of times if you get lucky, you can sometimes find these things in the 4x4 sheets if you're looking for a smaller build, just to put something on like a printer and then use as your note-taking service underneath your printer. Or, you can get a full 4x8 sheet and make multiple tables out of it and actually make multiple surfaces out of it that can be used throughout a shop or something like that. It's a very inexpensive way to get, get productive, I should say, because it doesn't take you long to build it. It's literally 2x2s, 4x4s, melamine top, and screws. And nothing but that is time. Probably total in a whole table, if you're building smaller tables, you're probably into it maybe, $60. And the thing is you have something that is multi-purpose. You have something that you can put something on, have people at, take notes, be able to go back and take pictures of those notes, and save the notes if needed. So, there's always that. And, that is why, I absolutely love, from my perspective, using melamine as a work surface. Now, are there other different ways of doing it? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You can literally take, if you wanted to, take a piece of sanded pine and add a 2x2 border around the outside of it, and you can paint the center of it with a chart with a chalkboard paint. So then, what you have, instead of having a whiteboard, you have a chalkboard that you can wipe down with a with an eraser. I know some people that's all they use in shops and places is chalkboards. Why? Because they love the tactile feel of chalk. I know people who absolutely love it. That's what they want. That's what they want to do. That's how they're going to use it. Because it's a sensory overload or sensory load that they like. It also says something about when somebody writes in chalk. They love the feel of how the chalk glides across the table surface. So you have that option. You also have the digital option, what we talked about. So, there's many different ways of going by and kind of, building what you want and getting kind of what you want. So, the big thing is when choosing collaborative tables, it is, how you see fit, how you want to do it, what your people are going to like. If it's a party of one, then pick what you like. If it's, party of five, talk to them. See what they like. Get an idea. Save your budget. Whatever budget you can. You start getting tough times where, pinching pennies and stuff like that kind of makes sense. So, being able to build, something on your own also gives you that satisfaction that, hey, guess what? I'm building my company from the ground up. So, you're literally building the infrastructure to get you moving. And the thing is that also helps you visualize what you're going to do. It sets you on a road to success. So, I highly recommend, using, collaborative tables, using tables that make sense. And, the reason why you'll probably ask is why are they STEM relevant or how are they STEM relevant? Is because if you think about it, I can sit there collaboration is a big part of STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. I can go in here and I can draw it exactly what I want. I can do everything I wanted to do. And then come back to it, work on it later, and continue to do that. I can write out formulas, I can write engineering diagrams. How does it work in motorsports? There's another great one. Is because now I'm sitting there with a pair of calipers and I'm looking over a part and I'm taking notes on a melamine surface, knowing that now I got to take those parts and put it either into CAD or put it into a notebook, knowing that like these are the specs I'm working off of. I can take a set of pistons and rings and everything else that I need to rebuild a motor, lay it out on a melamine table, and make sure everything is the correct measurements I need. I can write down, okay, cool, the weight of this rod is this, 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 the weight of this piston is this, and so forth. As you go down the bricks, you can take a picture of it. Now you're not worried about, oh crap, where did I save that file to? No, you took a picture of it and I could put it someplace. Where you could take that picture and translate it over into a screen, that you need to have. The thing is, it's also, as you're prototyping things, you're taking measurements, you're taking, design features of these things. You can easily go in there and draw it out. You can draw what you want. And if you don't like it, you go back and wipe it off. Yes, there's something called CAD and the Wambo boards for that. The Wammo boards, sorry. Which we'll be getting one of those to try out. But the thing is if you're in a collaborative environment, what's nicer, to be sitting there with your colleagues and have an expo marker or a piece of chalk or something like that. Or have everybody crouched in front of a computer screen with one guy doing all the work. It makes it collaborative. It makes it where, hey, if this guy doesn't see this, everybody else will. So, that's why I think that, these collaborative type tables are great for motorsports. Same thing of if you do the digital package, where you you recess a screen into a table, and you add a touch monitor to the top of it. Because with that, now if I'm looking through tuning data, I can scan and scroll through this while standing at a table. Everybody looks around and kind of sees what I'm looking at. So I'm not staring at an iPad, or I'm not staring at a laptop. I'm actually making something out of nothing. I'm able to take a CAD drawing and spin it in front of everybody. As I'm doing that, I can even have that table talking to a screen in front of me, where people can sit there and look at the screen and see me as I rotate through it. But they're able to look over and look at the actual screen on the table. So there's that. Or, if you really want to get fancy with it, you can have a central screen on one side of the table, and then have that central screen pumped out to all the screens around it. So whatever you're showing on that central screen are popping up on all the screens around you. So that means as you scan and go through, everybody sees what you see. That's another way of being collaborative. That's another way of doing it a little fancier, which no one's going to knock you for it. If you want to take a couple 22-inch monitors and put them at every single station, all the way around a desk, and have a central station where you have a lay flat 32-inch monitor, then do it. I think it's pretty cool. I might have to build one of those myself. Whenever I get a bigger location to work out of, and have time. So working on a doctor is kind of hard. But the thing is, tinkering always comes first. But the thing is that type of stuff is stuff that you can work on. Make it collaborative, make it fun, make it enjoyable, make it what motorsports is supposed to be. Make it a family thing if you have your family with you. However, make it fun, make it enjoyable, make it where everybody has a good time. That's the one thing. Everybody who, comes into certain industries leaves a more stressful industry to get to the industry they want to be in. We've all been there. We've all done it. And, we can't enjoy it more. I could tell you, I love going to the track. And, even if I'm not racing or doing anything, I'm there to watch. I'm having a blast. It's, for example, because I am a forever student, I like to tell people, is, going to go hopefully next month to Fuel Tech to go do the ECU programming and wiring course that they have. So, but with that, I can't bring you in the building with me. We'll say that. But we're going to try to do, kind of a daily vlog type of thing where, we kind of have that discussion of kind of what's going on after every day and kind of see, okay, cool, this is what my thoughts are. Should you come and do this course? I really think you probably should, especially if you're like me and you're a forever student and you want to learn about an ECU type system that not a lot of people use. Fuel Tech, it's great for the top fuel guys, and the drag racers out there. So, and I really want to get used to it. I want to see how it works. The thing is then eventually I'll go do a Holly crash course, and kind of build that knowledge base. Have some fun with it. Grew up the carburetors and, drive a diesel. So, I haven't tuned mine yet because it's still under warranty. So, but, I know, bad on me. But, it's one of those things, how we all have fun. The thing is I'm going to bring you along for the ride, especially when we get our new Prusa, or Prusa, it was Prusa, but, Prusa, research printer in. It's a kit. So guess what? We're going to put it together, and have a little bit of fun with it, and see how this thing works, and how we can use it for the automotive aftermarket, or just in motorsports alone, and we have since I've seen you last, and I'm so sorry for the delay. We've delayed because of homework and stuff like that. We've delayed on a bunch of stuff. We delayed on the podcast as well. So any of our followers of the podcast, I am sorry. I do, miss talking to y'all. We're going to fix that. I promise. you know, we've been kind of busy with school. You know, John's doing his thing through Penn State, doing his additive manufacturing stuff. You know, Tim's up in Tennessee doing his thing, what he does best. Um, you know, Ed's working on some stuff in Alabama. You know, I'm here. You know, working through the day to day, and also, you know, still pursuing a doctorate through Purdue. However, you know, we'll have fun with that on our own time, right? So, you know, I hope that, you know, we can give back to y'all a little bit more than we need to. You know, we're hoping to bring y'all with us through SEMA again this year. You know, last year it was our first time, so we didn't want to be dragging around a camera or anything like that on a daily basis. So, you know, it's kind of what we want to do. We want to have some fun with it. But, you know, we also got a new 3D scanner, and we got the Metrox X in. So we're actually going to work through that too. We're going to walk through a project for that. And then we should get our project car soon. You know, we're kind of aiming for that. Kind of maybe looking at a Fox body Mustang or something like that. Something fun, you know, something that we could take on a drag and drive. You know, we could possibly eventually do sick week or, you know, stuff like that. You know, engine combination that we're trying to look at is, you know, yet to be determined. It might be something different. You know, we like really going against the grain, and kind of really, you know, on occasion ticking off the people who are diehard fans, just because why we think it's funny. And, you know, we want everybody to have a good time. We want people to look at stuff and say, cool, I want to build that. I want to be involved. You know, that's the thing. We want people out there, young, old, to be involved in motorsports, to care about STEM. You know, to want to pursue the career that they deserve, that they want and desire, and also to build cool things with their hands. You know, not play on a video game. So, but you know, yeah, I'm still trying the whole iRacing thing and not very good at it. So, but the thing is I say that, you know, with, hey, you know, if you see me on there, you want to do, or you want to do, you know, do a race or something like that, you know, let's set something up and have some fun with it. I'm not very good or good at all, so let's keep it that way. We will be playing with a set of course at Evo and stuff like that soon. You know, on between trying to do homework and trying to keep y'all entertained. So, but you know, at the end of the day, you know, we hope that y'all learn something. We hope that, you know, y'all have a good time. You know, you know, it's good to see y'all again. You know, we missed hanging out with y'all. And, you know, at the end of the day, keep learning. Keep having fun with it. And, you know, always, you know, try something new. Y'all have a good one. We'll talk to you later.